In this video, I'm going to go over the steps to operate my Tier 3 program on a day-to-day basis. First thing I need to do is navigate to the iCare Mentoring website at icarementoring.org. When I'm on the home page, on the main menu, I'm going to click on Tier 3. And this is the Tier 3 homepage. In the first video, you already showed how to register programs, register students, review your rosters, and update your profile. Now let's get into the main operations of the program. The first thing you're going to do is add a mentoring session to the program. You click on Add Mentoring Sessions. Since it's the first time I've logged into the system in a while, it's going to ask me for my credentials. Now that I am logged into the portal, it's going to ask me to add the details for the mentoring session. First thing I need to do is pick the date of the session. In this case, let's imagine that I'm going to provide that tutoring or that mentoring on Thursday, March 10th, 2016. You can think of this as a planning document, something you do before the mentoring session occurs. So you can think through how you're going to approach the mentoring session. Next thing it asks for is a general description of the session. Once I've typed in the general description for the session, the next thing I need to do is identify which principle of the mentoring foundations will be the focus of this session. Setting goals to be prepared for 21st century careers, building character, developing pathways to achievement, building resiliency, or believing in a positive future. Because this is a session that's focused on career interests and planning, I am going to click on Setting Goals to be prepared for 21st century careers. Notice that when I clicked on that, a new dialog box popped up asking, how did this session help students set goals to be prepared for 21st century careers? Every box I click on, it will require some form of description, so I'm not likely to click on more than one of those boxes at a time. When I'm finished responding to that question, the other question it's going to ask me is, will I have any special guest speakers or presenters at this session? And does this session involve visiting a special location? In this case, since the answer to both of those is no, I will just leave them blank and click Submit. Now I'm back on the Tier 3 home screen again, and I can take attendance from the session that I had. I can click on Take Attendance. I can select the mentoring session date. You'll see in this case I have to select March 10th, 2016 because that's the only date that I've entered in. You know that you could enter in multiple mentoring sessions ahead of time so that you don't have to worry about them. I'm going to pick the last name of the students, pick the first name of the student, mark that student present, and click Submit. Now, if that's the only student who was at my mentoring session, I can be finished at this point. But if there's another student who was at my mentoring session, I can pick the same date, pick a new student, mark them present, and click Submit. So if I have 8 students sitting in a mentoring session, I'm going to go through this little cycle 8 times. In my case, I only have 4 students in my mentoring program, so I only have 4 students to enter. Hopefully my mentoring program would grow over time. The next step in the process is to evaluate mentoring sessions after they have occurred. This is just to provide feedback so that we have a better understanding of what seems to be working out in the field. This is not an evaluation of the quality of your program or the quality of your presentation. It's really just a way to keep your thoughts in one spot. Click on Evaluate Mentoring Session. It will ask you to pick a particular mentoring session date. Here I'm going to pick March 10th, 2016. Click Search. And it's asking now, share how you think the mentoring session went on 3/10/2016. As a reminder, this is how you describe the session. So the words that I typed for the session description are all right in there. The evaluation is pretty simple. It asks, what were your overall impressions of the session? Let's say in this case I thought they were positive. and what could be done to improve the session in the future. When my reflection notes have been entered into the system, I will click the Update button, and that is the end of evaluating the Tier 3 mentoring session. One of the last things I would do for the mentoring sessions themselves is to review my attendance records. See, for example, here that I had mentoring session that was held on March 10th, 2016, and 4 students had attended. Now, if I have 9 students in my program and I've only taken attendance for 4 of them, that means that either 5 students missed or that I haven't finished taking the attendance. I could expand this slot here and see all the students that I marked as present. And you'll notice down at the bottom it says, did other students attend this session? Add them here. So if I had a 5th student who had attended that session, or a 6th student, or a 7th student, I could click right here, and it'll take me right back to that same form where I add new students into the mentoring. And that is how you handle the general operations of adding mentoring sessions, taking attendance for those sessions, evaluating those mentoring sessions, and reviewing your attendance records to make sure they're accurate. In the next video, I will talk about how to make weekly contact with students.